I'm Jeremy Ekeler, Chief Administrative Officer of Pius X High School in Lincoln, Nebraska. And each episode we'll sit down with the people who make this place more than a school. They make it a faith-filled community. From educators and coaches to students, alumni, and leaders, and parents, we're exploring how Catholic education at Pius transforms lives, builds character, and shapes our future. Whether you're a parent, parishioner, or proud graduate, you're invited into the conversation. We're doing that very thing just today by welcoming the Morrows. Brian and Allison are with us. How are you guys?
Good.
We're good.
Thank you.
Good. Thanks for being here. So our theme here, as we kick off the school year, is really why it matters. Sort of why Pius matters, what makes it different. We've interviewed some great people, but this is our first married couple. So congratulations.
Thank you.
This is great. Thanks for having us. We're going to get into why we chose you, besides the fact that you're just awesome to talk to. But let's start with some basics. Tell us a little bit about the Morrow family.
Well, the Morrow family we're in St. Joe's Parish. We have 4 boys. They all 4 go here.
And I think that is. No one else can claim that.
Yeah, so
no one else can claim 4, can they?
Have 4 kids at Pius?
Right. So
I think so.
My joke is this year we're Pius's best customer.
That's right.
And so how do you get to 4? We were blessed with Charlie, who's a senior this year, and triplets who are going to be freshmen. And
Okay.
They're all boys, and they're all pretty active. And little into athletics, as you can imagine with boys, and they're pretty rowdy, but they're getting to be pretty good boys, and hopefully a good addition. The 3 little ones, at least, a good addition to the school.
Yeah, that. If there's someone out there who also has 4 at Pius, this is an automatic invite to the show.
Yeah,
we can do dueling
It have
stuff.
to be multiples.
Yeah, so like, what's laundry like then at home? I mean,
it's currently sitting in our laundry room waiting for them to do it. So I guess that's up to them, but it's always running.
always running.
Washing machine's always running.
Yep. So Brian, you are a Pius grad.
Correct. 1995.
1995. Allison?
I also graduated in 95, but I went to Lincoln East.
Okay.
So both
right,
from Lincoln.
right down the street. So,
Yep.
So what's the story? How'd you guys meet?
We met, I was living in Omaha. He was in Lincoln. I kind of knew Brian since we were the same year, some mutual friends. And I think we officially met at a tailgate.
Yeah, at a Husker tailgate.
And then,
Okay.
yeah.
I went to school.
He asked my sister for my number, but then I don't think he called me for 2 months. So just to get that in there.
Oh, so we're gonna do jabs. This podcast. Yeah, so I went to
go there.
our brother-in-laws and her sister went to UNL, so I kind of knew them,
Mm-hmm.
and so it was kind of a set-up, hangout kind of thing, and eventually we started dating and
Got married.
Fell in love, I guess.
Lived
right?
in, got married at Cathedral.
Got married
Oh,
at
really?
Cathedral.
Okay.
I was actually, I did not convert to Catholicism till I was pregnant with Charlie, so 17 years ago.
Oh.
So, to be quite honest, it was a lot of back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And Father Mankey had married my sister, Kim and Craig Vosick. They're also have children here at Pius. And so we knew him a little bit from just being around him. And I think that's just how we kind of came about it. Just, I wasn't Catholic yet.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of being stubborn at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
In converting to my faith,
Yeah.
and so
It was.
we got married at Cathedral. He married us, and then we moved to Omaha. I actually was living in Omaha already, and he was in Lincoln.
Okay, yeah. So we're working our way towards how you ended up back at Pius. So there's because we're actually working our way towards involvement in the Booster Club and all the impact it has. But how did you end up getting back to Pius? Because there's Omaha in the story,
Right.
There's Aurora, right, in the story too.
Yep.
Okay.
So we lived in Omaha. Brian took a new job that was in Aurora, and I at the time was working in Omaha. I'm like, I do not know if I can move to a town with one stoplight. I'm not sure I could do that, but I really wanted to stay at home. We just had Charlie at the time. So we decided to take a leap of faith. We moved to this town, and we really ended up loving it. We lived there 10 years. We still have some really great friends there. And to be honest, that small town community, I really think I needed it to grow in my faith.
And that was 6. So that was 6 years ago, 7 years ago.
That we moved here to Lincoln. Then.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the boys could have been going to.
Yeah.
It could have been Huskies.
Huskies. Yeah. Wow.
Yep.
Well, and we loved Aurora, and we had talked about it because he had talked about the possibility of someday we might have to move to Omaha, and we were like, I really don't want to move our kids when they reach high school. That's just hard. And so we were kind of just settled on Aurora, and then he comes home randomly one day for lunch, and he goes, I just got off the phone with my boss, and they want us to move to Lincoln. And I was like, what? And there was never any hesitancy. It was just like, let's do it. Yeah. And I think the excitement.
You both have family here, right?
Family here. Our boys getting to go to Catholic school. They don't have a Catholic school in Aurora. Closest is Grand Island Central Catholic.
Yeah, sure. Shout out to Jordan Engel and GICC. Yeah.
So, yes, I had at that point come a lot further in my faith. So I was very excited about sending our kids to Catholic school. And so, yeah, we moved 6 years ago.
Settled into St. Joe's Parish?
Settled into St. Joe's Parish, yep.
Yeah. I'd add a few details to that. So I actually was laid off at the time. And this was in 2008. My job was in investments and finance, so that was the financial crisis. And so I was staying home with Charlie.
Oh.
And she was having to go to work. And I had told her about this opportunity in Aurora. And we had just moved to Westo, spent a lot of money on a house, thought that would be the last house we'd ever own, right? And, I told her about this opportunity. It's in Aurora. And she goes, well, where's Aurora? I go, well, it's an hour on the other side of Lincoln. And it's right off the interstate, town of 4,000 people. And she's like, no, not for me. I'm like, okay. So we slept on it. And then as she was going to work the next day, and I was staying home with Chuck, she's like, you know what? Keep going through with the interview. I think I might do this. And I think, she continued to work and she continued to think and pray, I'm sure, about it. And she was just like, I want to be a stay-at-home mom. So we had this tremendous opportunity to kind of right-size life by moving to Aurora. And it was one of the best experiences of our lives. I mean, everybody should live in a small town given a chance. I mean, just the community, and this is going to come full circle, but I probably didn't have an appreciation for volunteering and serving in a town like Omaha and Lincoln that I grew to enjoy and appreciate in Aurora.
And everybody pitches in.
Everybody pitches in.
Just the expectations.
When you go to the grocery store in Aurora, there's one in the grocery store. So you see the wealth in town and the not so wealth. You see the other side of the tracks has to go to that same grocery store. And it just really hits home with you that not everybody has the same opportunity and not everybody has the same gifts and such. And so,
but everybody pitches in.
Everybody's got to pitch in. Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, like so many of our families, crazy busy, and it's coming in batches, right? So you've got one, and then you've got 1, 2, 3, and so sports, activities, moving around, changing jobs. You've learned this idea of giving, and you come back to Lincoln. Did you jump right in at St. Joe's and Pius with giving back? Because that's really what we're trying to talk to people about.
At St. Joe's, we got reeled into that pretty quick.
Well, and we were pretty involved at St. Mary's in Aurora, and so I knew I wanted to get involved. But I think we got asked with SFA right away,
pretty quickly,
to be on it. And so we said yes because it was just an opportunity to get to know people. But it was good. Yeah. So we did jump in with that.
Yeah. And we really didn't do, I don't know, St. Joe's just kind of felt right. We wanted to be close to Pius. And it was the only Catholic school that had 3 classes. And
sure.
What's great.
And we wanted them separated. Yes, which I think was maybe another God moment too, like meeting us because we're like, I don't know which parish, and so
so many good parishes, but some of that variety and be able to split the boys up is a big deal. So obviously the boys are really into athletics. Brian, you were into athletics now as a coach, but you were also an athlete here at Pius. Allison, did you play sports?
Yes, and I played,
way more athletic than I am.
I played volleyball, basketball, and I ran track in high school, and I played volleyball in college.
So it's just in the blood here. So the Booster Club comes around. How'd you engage with the Pius Booster Club? Who was the ask, or how'd you jump in there?
I'm guessing it was Vosigs.
Well, my sister, Kim Vosig, they were on she was the merchandise chair for several years for the Booster Club. And I think Hostraders too, Charity and Ben Hostrader. Ben was a friend of Brian's in high school, and they were on it as well. And so
now they don't like each other at all, right?
Right.
Sorry, Ben.
So that's how we jumped in.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we joined Charlie's freshman year. We joined the Booster Board.
Great.
Yeah.
Jumped right in. And now you are the co-presidents, the presidents.
Yeah, presidents, couple presidents
Yeah.
Of the Booster Club.
So there's been a lot of good leadership in the Booster Club. It's essential to what Pius does. But one of the things that surprised me was how few people understand the impact. Well, first of all, what the Booster Club does and its impact. So let's start with that. You're the president. We've been working really on defining what the role of the Booster Club is and in telling its story. So what is the Booster Club?
Well, in so many levels, or to simplify it promotes and provides financial support for extra and co-curricular activities at Pius High School. So that can be sports, it can be arts. We get requests from these different activities and coaches and activity directors for equipment, jerseys. We also have some reserve accounts that we save for maintenance and upkeep, whether that's the gym floor, whether that's the turf at Aldrich Field or the track.
But I want to add on that too, because I think some of the things that Booster Club we save money for, like Brian just listed, the turf, the track, tennis court resurfacing, the baseball, softball fields. A lot of that, Booster Clubs from LPS don't have to pay for that, don't contribute to that. That's
true.
more of an LPS fund.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of our funds, we have to be diligent that we're saving because those are expensive costs when they come. And even this summer, I think the Booster Club chipped in, it was either $120,000 or $130,000 to resurface the track.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we save for those big purchases like that maybe LPS Booster Clubs don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's true. And I mean, when folks come to school this year and look at the gym floors, I mean, they're beautiful. Both of them now.
Yes.
I mean, both the gym floors are incredible.
Yes.
The track looks amazing.
Good. Yes.
But it's an old facility. I mean, we turn 70 next year, and so maintenance and upkeep is huge. And having these things on a cycle is just essential. So in terms of dollars and cents, I mean, any idea how much the Booster Club has pitched in just in the last year, 2, 3 years, something like that?
Yeah, I think we have our treasurer found for us that the last 5 years, the Booster Club has given back around $300,000 back to Pius, back to the students, our activities. So it's significant.
It's huge. And where do those funds come from?
So memberships are our number one revenue. We have a lot of different levels of that. I mean, the top is platinum. You see a lot of corporations at that level because there's some advertising benefits. We used to hang banners on the fence around Aldrich Field, and now we have the score vision. So now before the game, during timeouts, other breaks in action, we'll have advertisements rolling there. It'll be so at Aldrich Field, that'll be all your football games, track, soccer. Sorry, I'm missing a few, and then you got the gym, got 2 screens there, and then from that, we got a bunch of different levels under that level's 1,350, and then a bunch of levels for whoever, whatever level they feel like they can commit. That generates about 77,000 last year, and I think we've got a lot of growth there, and I can speak to that in a minute. Concessions is another area. We generate about 30,000. We get a share of Bolt as well. We have the Thunderbolt Golf Scramble.
Yeah, it's a great time.
That's a great time, great cause. And then we kind of break even on merchandise sales. We don't really make a lot of money there, but it helps spread the brand.
That's right.
Gives people an opportunity to refresh their look.
That's right. That's right. So I'm interested in membership, right? Because one of the things I said was there's what is the Booster Club, but then there's also sort of like what does it do? And when you think about the programs it helps, everything from cheer and band and the arts, I think most people think Booster Club and they think, oh, well, if my kid's on the football team, I better be in the Booster Club. But this program, the boosters help everyone. Where are the programs that are like we get great representation, where the program's like, maybe these parents need to know more about it, because it's simple to become a member. I mean, you can go online, click 2 buttons, and become a member.
Right.
Yeah. What are the programs you think?
Well, I think we try to touch all of them, and it's interesting. Like you bring up the football field, like that's a big number. I think our reserve account for that is about 500,000, and so that takes many years to reserve and save for that. And you think, okay, only the football player get the benefit of that, or the soccer players. Well, the band performs on there, and then they have competition meets too, and so there's a lot of different levels that I think you're right. I think it is easy for people to think of this as an athletic club, but we try to we will give to any activity at Pius, and we've really tried to send a message this year. We had the opportunity to present just to the coaches and activity directors at the before school meeting that you guys had, and just try to really offer that if you have a need and a request, don't be afraid to come to us, but reciprocate that message back to your parents to join and sign up and help us get that money back out to the kids.
Pretty exciting this year, too. I think we have some representation on the board from band, from music, and that's something we wanted for a long time, and I think that's a sign that there's an understanding of just the reach of boosters.
Right. Yeah, and I just pulled up, we did like a participation rate by sport or activity, and some of our top activities that the percentage of parents or families that have joined Booster Club, the top 5 here were dance, baseball, boys basketball, girls basketball. I'm going to throw in softball and boys tennis. Those all had, and girls golf. And boys golf. Sorry, let me get all those in there. But those all had, of the families that had kids participating in those activities, they had at least 50% of the families that had joined Booster Club. So, we would love if every activity or sport was at 50%.
Yeah, when you say there's a lot of chance for opportunity for growth here, absolutely. I mean, literally maybe hundreds of families, because our participation rate in sports and activities in the arts is incredibly high. We're talking about the Pius difference. One of the things that makes Pius different is our students, it's almost just an expectation. You're going to be involved in 1 or 2 or 3 things. And the parents are along for that ride too. And the opportunity to boost with a simple membership is a great thing.
Yeah, and just to give some numbers, I think we have about 26, 27 activities, and only 8 of those have a membership participation of 50% or greater. So that's only 30% of the activities. So I think we have a lot of room for growth. If every activity contribute their parent group and we measure by kids, right? So 50% of the kids participating. Man, if we could get all those up to 50%, I mean, that 77,000 grows quite a bit. And I don't want to give the impression that we want more money to save money for these turf projects and stuff like that, but what would happen is, yes, we have those, and we have those reserved adequately today and on an accrual schedule and stuff like that. But we want, if any of you are familiar with the SFA model, where they bring in money and they highlight a project and they kick that money right back out, so there's an immediate feel and impact. And we really feel like Booster Club's at a point where if we can grow revenues, that'll give us more money to kick back to the kids, and the parent who's writing the check will feel like, okay, I'm going to see that impact on my kids and the students and their friends and their team or activity that they're participating in, and that's a great feeling.
Yeah.
We just and the other thing I would say is, to use the example of the football team, they're going to have new Adidas jerseys this year. It's the first time that group has had branded jerseys, and I mean branded Under Armour, Nike, Adidas, in quite a while. And I think that means something to the kids. I think whether you like it or not, they feel almost empowered a little bit when they have a brand, and you see all these other schools have those. And so not only do we want to provide for the kids, but we also would like to provide at a level that they can be really proud of and energized, and so we're really excited about it, and we want to share that with all the kids and activities.
And it goes back to Allison's point too. I think people sometimes look at Pius or a private school and they say, why don't you have what the public school down the street has? And That's a totally different funding model. That's an arms race that, the only way we sort of compete in is if our community steps forward and contributes financially in little ways with joining the Booster Club, maybe in larger ways with sponsorships. But the other piece, and this is going back to Aurora, right, is like giving of your time. And when we look at, you mentioned concessions as being a place where we can generate revenue, that takes people. Mm-hmm. And actually those people have a lot of fun, right? I mean, that seems like a pretty good gig on an evening. Yeah.
It is so fun. If you've never worked a varsity football game, sign up. Seriously, you're going to be sweating and smell like popcorn, but it is so much fun. It is so busy. You just get to meet so many people, the kids. It really is. And that is just a great way to just get involved. I've heard some of our new members on Booster Board, they're like, we've been wanting to know how to get involved in Pius. We want to be involved. I mean, take that as the first step. Mm-hmm. It really is. It's fun. And there will always be a Booster Board member in there, so you will not be asked to make hot dogs or burn hot dogs, as I sometimes do. So it's a lot of fun.
Well, that means a lot, especially coming from you, because one of the things I've found out in my early days here, just listening to people, is people love the community, but if you're not from the community, so Brian came from the Pius community, and you've got siblings and things like this. But when you come from the outside, how do you get in? How do I get into this community? And there are a lot of simple ways, and there's a lot of opportunities as well. Concessions for sure is one. Apparel and merch is another one. Are there other places the Booster Club helps set us up for volunteering and success? Are those the biggies?
I'd say those are the big ones.
Those are two biggies,
Those are the big ones.
Get
a team. You could, it's not necessarily volunteer, but for the Thunderbolt Scramble, get a team together. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know how many teams they had last year, but it's a great way to get to know people. And
that was amazing. So I sat at the 6th hole at we were Firethorn, right?
Yeah.
For the scramble, and you would have a group, a foursome come up, and there were guys who graduated 50 years ago.
Yeah.
The next group would come up and they graduated 4 years ago.
Right.
And they're all there together supporting Pius. And now this is the difference, right? Like, this is the community. This is what we come together for. That event's great. It raises good money, but just to sit at the 6th hole for 3 hours or whatever it was, 4 hours, but to meet and hear all those stories 50 years ago, 5 years ago. I was on the first football team. I played football last year because we did have a group actually
that
just graduated, and they were hilarious, and they wanted to share all their stories and give all their input on the teachers. It was great. So this is awesome. What else? We got to get to our lightning round too, of course. But what else should people know about the Booster Club?
Well, I think it's a great group of people, and we got a lot of momentum right now, and I think. The Booster Club is a great way to kind of show your support for the momentum that we have at the moment. And I said it at the fall meeting. If your kid is in an art, whether it's dance or baseball, what have you. I mean, these youth sports under the high school level cost parents thousands and thousands of dollars, and Pius, will charge you, and it varies by activity, but $100 to $200, and I think some might be up to $300 or $400. But the cost to run these activities at the high school level, to follow the NSAA rules, and to provide safe equipment, to provide a great environment, good instruction.
Buses,
travel for sure.
It costs a lot of money.
Expensive venture.
It costs a lot more money than Pius charges. So just consider that when you think about what you get back for a membership from the Booster Club, or what the Booster Club's helping to provide, because I think that message has been lost a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I agree. That's really well said.
One other thing I do want to say about something that we're doing this year is on October 10th, so mark your calendar, we are going to have I think we ended up on, they're calling it Parish Family Night, maybe? Parish Family Night, okay? So we are going to have Junior Bolts will be there. They will be wearing their jerseys. They'll be on the sideline during warm-ups. We will have junior high students wearing, hopefully, We Are Pius t-shirts, getting in free. We're
Yep.
going to have a low rate for family to get in and just really help to build community and have a fun night.
October 10th is against Standing Bear,
Against
correct?
Standing Bear, 7 p.m.
Yeah, we look at our game schedule between, our first game against probably one of the state's better teams, Elkhorn North. Then you look at homecoming every night, and then parish family appreciation night. Every home game is community night now at Pius. Yeah. I mean, they're all big, and they should be packed, and the energy should be incredible.
Yeah.
And I think this is I've talked to pastors about this night, and they're so appreciative. They're so excited to put in their bulletin. They want their families to show up because we talk constantly. Pius is kind of the culmination of a kindergarten through 12th grade experience. Kids at St. Joe's, we want them thinking about Pius right away. Cathedral, Blessed Sacrament. And this night, I appreciate you guys putting this together because I think it's really just sort of the embodiment of what we're trying to do here with community in our city. We are the Central Catholic High School, after all.
Yes,
right.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think the other thing, too, let's not forget about Fall Kickoff, August 22nd.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That is a fundraiser for the Booster Club. It'll be $2 for an individual, adult or kid, $5 for the family. Doesn't matter how big your family is. $5 is the max you'll pay. Great scrimmage. There's some scholarships handed out. The band
performs, and dance performs.
I mean,
cheer.
it really is kind of it's the Fall Kickoff for a reason.
It is.
I mean, it's called that for a reason.
Yep.
I mean, that is, everybody gets an opportunity to showcase themselves. It's a good opportunity to get merch, and the concessions will be open. And, it's really, there's always kind of a warm feeling at that because we're all coming together.
Yes.
Still a lot of optimism for the year, for everybody, and it's a great night.
Yep, it is a great night. That's awesome. Well, this has been great, and this is what makes Pius different. This is why it matters. It's the community. It's people volunteering, giving of their time. And I guess this is also kind of a call to action to families out there who, how do I give, or haven't thought about giving? This is a great place to engage in the Booster Club. I'm excited to see what the future holds under your leadership. Thank you for that leadership too. Are you guys ready for the lightning round?
Sure.
We are.
There's some little interesting stories because you guys did some prep work by listening to previous podcasts.
That's right.
Let's start with Allison, and then we'll kick it to Brian on the first one. Who is your favorite saint right now? Who are you connecting with?
Okay. Well, right now, since it is the feast of St. Maximilian Kolbe,
yes, it is.
I've got to go with him.
Yeah.
His story always inspires me. And today, we had a retreat up at St. Joseph's. I worked there as a para.
Okay.
And so just kind of reflecting on his life a little bit and just thinking about how much he must have loved God in order to give his life for somebody else, to love others as much as he did to give his life. Just, I don't know, it inspires me.
It's incredible.
So,
and I mean, as a convert, aren't the saints just amazing?
Yes.
I mean, I think we take it for granted as cradle Catholics, but these stories.
It is.
Yeah.
And it makes me want to be a better person. It makes me want to become a saint. So, he's, every time I hear a story, and since it was his feast day, I thought that was
great pick. Brian?
I'm going with John Paul II.
Yeah.
You know why? Because he's the patron saint of the Booster Club.
That's right.
We
JP2 is our
right?
yeah. Because why? Remember why we chose him?
Well,
he's an athlete.
He's an athlete.
He's an artist.
He just covered it all. And you know what? Quite honestly, I was reflecting on it. Like, he was kind of my pope.
Yeah.
Growing up. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
And I mean, he was a force in the 80s and 90s. World Youth Day, 95. I think it's still the biggest gathering ever. And so just kind of it was fitting that the Booster Club picked him, and that was kind of the Pope I grew up with.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and we really hope. We're just talking to a group about. We hope Pope Leo is that Pope for our kids now. Longevity and a force in the culture for sure.
And a Bears fan.
Yes, and an athlete too. The same thing. This is great. Yeah. Allison, favorite Bible verse, and this has a little bit of a story to it.
Well, yeah. So Brian and I obviously knew what the lightning round questions were because we have listened to the previous podcast, but we didn't really talk about what our answers would be. So he texted me, I don't know, this afternoon, probably 2:30, and he's like,
I had to get her approval.
He goes, so here's my saint, and here's my Bible verse, and it was Philippians 4, I get 13.
13,
is that what it was? And I was like, interesting, because I never told him what Bible verse that I've been praying with the last couple months, but mine is Philippians 4, 6 through 7.
Wow.
So that verse says, I'm going to close my eyes because it helps me just to focus. Have no anxiety about anything, but in everything, by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let all your requests be made known to God. Mm. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will keep your heart and keep your mind in Christ Jesus. So,
wow, right from the heart there. She's not reading that, by the way. That is right from the heart. It's incredible.
Yeah, and it's so, there's so much packed into that. But, the first thing, have no anxiety. I'm like, oh, easier said than done, Lord, right? And I'm kind of a type A personality, and I'm like, okay, I want to get this done, this and this done. How do I do it? How do I get these tasks done? And like, how do I do that, Lord? But he tells us in that verse, let all your requests be made known to God. Let him know everything. Talk to him. Have a relationship. But I think also just that piece about with Thanksgiving, I think that's something too, like gratitude in all of that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Having gratitude, having a relationship with Jesus, and that will bring you peace in your heart, in your mind. And if people know me, they're like, she's not peaceful. I talk fast, I eat fast, I walk fast, but like I have a very strong desire to just be at peace. And I pray for that grace that someday, I will be the peaceful person that I want to be.
What a blessing you must be for your boys, including your husband here. I mean, just bringing that stability and that peace. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
How about you, Brian?
Philippines 4-13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And I get moments where I lead meetings at work or a booster club meeting or coaching. Mm-hmm. Just all my experiences being a husband, being a father, and I think about that a lot. Like it just calms me, kind of similar to you. It's like, okay, I'm with him. He's going to give me the strength to get through this, and it just kind of sets my mind at peace. And
that's so beautiful. You guys, the two almost connect.
Right.
I mean,
right.
Just literally on the page.
Right.
That's incredible. Let's talk about who your heroes are. Brian, why don't you go first on this one? Who's your hero?
Well, I'm not much of a hero guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have one. I mean, other than the one.
Yeah, right.
But I was thinking about this a lot. I wanted it to relate to Pius and my family and experience. So I picked Larry Arth.
Oh, wow.
And Larry Arth is my uncle who passed. When did he pass? Maybe 17.
So this is
15?
Mary's
first husband.
I just
Billy
called Mary today.
Billy's dad.
Wow.
Yeah. So just growing up, he ran Emeritus, was the CEO and chairman of that for a long time. I just kind of looked up like this guy. He's obviously successful. He was a strong Catholic. He had great relationship with priests all through.
Yes.
I mean, him and Monsignor Barr were very close. And, just kind of looked up with him, whether it was a holiday and he was given his opinion about Husker football or a politic issue. I just thought he had a charismatic way to get right to the main point.
Yeah.
It wasn't all this fluff. And, he competed against Gale Sayers.
Wow.
And he had some stories about that. I mean, he was just kind of a cool guy. And having the opportunity to grow up with him a little bit was pretty cool. So.
Wow. It's a good one.
And he has an endowment here.
Yeah.
The Lawrence Arth
great,
Endowment
super
Fund.
supportive. Speaking of families who are supportive, and it's incredible. Yeah. How about you, Alison?
My hero, honestly, it's going to Mass and seeing all these young families, these young moms. Even at daily Mass, I see these young moms, and they have 3-4 little kids that, it'd be much easier to stay at home, but they are making the point to be there. And I don't know, it gives me a lot of hope to see all these young families so in love with their faith. Even St. Joseph does like an adoration night once a month. And you go, and it's like all these little kids in their pajamas going to see Jesus. And it just, I don't know, just gives me a lot of hope. So I'd say these young families that are making sacrifices to be there and send their kids to Catholic school.
Yeah, we don't take that for granted. Speaking of gratitude,
and there seems to be like a rebirth going on a little bit right
I agree.
now. I mean, she's talking about the daily mass. You go to 9 o'clock mass at St. Joe's, and it is packed with young families. Lots of kids. Mm-hmm. The enrollment's really strong. You see it at the college level. Yep. The Newman Center's having records break right now. I mean, it's really, really neat.
I think that Focus, the seeds planted by Focus and that Newman Center, we're starting to see them big time coming, because now these are young parents that are coming up too. Yeah, it's incredible to see. It's exciting.
Right.
It's really exciting. We went a little bit out of order, but gosh, we're in such a great spiritual place here. Who or what are you? Who are you praying for right now, or what are you praying for right now? We're going to join you, so this is a chance for the community to hit pause and
please do. Just the last few months, I've just been praying for friendships, and just to go into that a little bit, I know I have 3 boys entering high school. I have a senior, and I know high school can be a really tough time for kids. And I've talked to other moms whose kids are struggling with friendships and finding their group. Just kids, with social media and all that, I think it can feel very lonely. I think they feel like it's social if they send someone a Snapchat, but
there's no embodiment, there's no relationship happening there, and
the human connection, and we all need somebody to walk with. Like these kids all need somebody, and my prayer has been for not only my kids, but the kids at Pius and our diocese schools. I work at St. Joe's too, and work with a lot of kids there too that. They struggle with friendships. So that has just been on my heart is friendships for every kid.
Very good.
Yeah, for me, it's just the Pius community, and that's not a cop out, but I'm really focusing on the senior class and the freshman class because I have boys in there. Yep. And, so I can't forget the sophomores and juniors, too, who I know many of them as well. And with the new administration, we got this building campaign going. I know we have a project down at Aldrich that should be ready in a few weeks.
Yeah, it's going to look really good.
Yeah, right. And so I just there can be a lot that goes into a senior year. So I have a little more focus towards that group. It's a big year. I hope I pray that they come together. I pray that they have success, they achieve their goals, and kind of have a nice launching pad into whatever they choose to do after Pius, whether that's college, trade schools, or just jump right into the workforce. I'm going to keep everybody in my prayers in this building.
That's great. Yeah, and I got a lot of prayers for that senior class too. I have a firm belief that group, they set the tempo, they set the energy, the ethos, and I think we all want this to be just a great year. Mm-hmm. So those are really good. We've talked about a lot of stuff. I don't know if you have anything left to answer on this one, but what's something else you want the Thunderbolt community to know about you?
Well, that we're doing this because, we love the school, we love the community, and, I think getting back to our days in Aurora, it really impacted us to be in a small community, and it was very eye-opening that everybody has to pitch in and help, right? The community is just too small. Yep. And so you learn, and that can be somebody to help you trim some trees, to a civic fundraiser, to sitting on a board at a hospital, a local hospital or something. It comes in many different shapes or sizes, but we had a couple projects at our house, and the amount of people that would come over after Mass just to kind of pitch in and help. Yeah. It really just kind of taught us, and so when we came to Lincoln, we kind of had that experience and wanted to give back. We did that at St. Joe's through SFA, and had the opportunity to join the Booster Club 4 years ago, and we just kind of wanted to see this through, and so Alison and I are doing this. We want to leave Booster Club better than we found it. And that's nothing against the prior board members, but I think that's just kind of our mindset right now, and hopefully we'll have a good year.
Yeah, he covered all, Allison.
He got all.
Perfect.
I'm not that excited.
All right, we'll finish with the prompt then, and you can each answer this. The best part about being a Thunderbolt is
our Catholic faith.
Catholic faith, yeah, I'll go with that. That's a good one. It's hard to beat.
Well, you guys are awesome. I appreciate all of your work with the Booster Club. I hope this inspires other people to find ways to get involved. join the team, especially through the Booster Club. There's so much potential for growth and so much momentum here at Pius, and appreciate all of your support and help in creating that momentum and sustaining it. So then thank you all for joining us on We Are Pius. If you enjoyed today's conversation, share it with someone who loves Pius and Catholic education as much as we do. We are blessed to be Bolts, and until next time, do your best to restore all things in Christ. Nailed it together, too.